Welcome to the Multifamily Collective, the coffee review edition. I think I am actually going to try to find a day of the week. Friday seems appropriate, maybe Monday morning, to put out the coffee reviews. And I've got several bags of coffee now that I have to go through. So we'll have several of these in a row. The coffee that I am reviewing today is called The Volt, and it's by Charged. See what they did there. It's also organic. And I'm not entirely sure where I got this coffee. I'm not sure if I ordered it on my own or if somebody mailed this to me. If you recall out there in the community, let me know, because I'd love to make proper attribution. But this coffee, when I opened the bag and I smelled it, there was sort of I had this instant memory, and I'm not sure why. The coffee just brought this out of my mind, out of the archives, of where I lived for 13 years of my life. I grew up in a rural setting outside of a very small city in Clovis, called Clovis, New Mexico. Town of about 35,000 people, so maybe that doesn't qualify small, but we lived in a rural area of that particular city or town. And so what this coffee brought to mind for me was that house. And I lived next door to a family who had a working farm. They gardened throughout the spring and summer and fall, and they also raised animals that they used to sustain themselves. And what I remember most about that is this coffee sort of brought to mind was spending Saturdays and Sundays out there in their barnyard and spending time around the animals, whether we were throwing hay or feeding, or I'll leave out the parts where they were preparing those particular animals for consumption. But all of that, there's sort of this rich experience about growing up in a rural area I wasn't on the working farm. I just lived next door. We were definitely not farmers or ranchers, but anyway, this coffee really reminds me of that, the smell when I open the bag. But let's give it a taste and we'll give it a cup review. Gary Gregory, thank you again for that idea. So here we go. Yeah, this coffee is bold. I imagine, it doesn't say on here whether it's a bold or a medium or a light roast, but that's definitely got a very strong aftertaste, a little acidic. I imagine because it's called the Volt, it is bold roast. But that's a good coffee. It's slightly more acidic than I like, even in a bold coffee, but I'm going to give this a 6.8 cups on a 10 cup scale. So that's our coffee review, multifamily episode, brought to you by the Multifamily Media Network. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.